Hello, Katya. Thank you for joining us today. Can you please tell a bit about yourself?
Hello, thank you very much for inviting me to this
Yeah.
interview. So, what can I say? I'm a second year student at the TFL specialty at SDU University, and also I am a private tutor, and I've been working in this field for 3 years approximately.
Can you tell us about how you got started to teach English?
I first decided to start teaching English when I was 17 years old. I was a third year student in college. I studied translation studies. And just at some point in my life, I realized that I didn't have a goal to follow. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life in general. And I kind of thought, what am I good at? And my mother helped me a little bit to identify my destination, my purpose. She told me that, well, you know English very well. At that point in time, I had been learning English for more than 10 years, and that is why she suggested me to just try to teach it. Ask some acquaintances, some people that you know, whether they need a private tutor, whether they want to start to learn English. And I just did so, and then it all kind of started.
Okay. What inspired you to start working for yourself, not for a company or a language school?
I think my love for independence mostly led me to choosing to work for myself. I am a very responsible person, and I am not afraid of responsibility. So working for yourself, it gives you a freedom of choice, a freedom for your timetable that you can choose whenever you can work, wherever you want to work. And that is why I just didn't want to follow anyone's no, I didn't want to be controlled by anyone. That is why I decided to take this responsibility on my shoulders and deal with all of the documentation, deal with all of the taxes by myself, but still having this freedom of choice.
Yeah, it's difficult enough, it's hard enough. And what were the hardest parts when you firstly started?
I think the hardest things at the start of my journey were the lessons themselves.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of self-conscious. I didn't know how to teach properly, and I am very grateful for my first student, for her patience, that she didn't just give up. She didn't stop having lessons with me. She just continued because she believed in me. And I can say that I have quite a big development. I can say that my teaching has developed since then. But at the start, I just didn't have even a lesson plan. I didn't know what we will study. I just followed the textbook and I just showed the PDF. So, for example, now I am preparing lessons beforehand. I have everything planned out, and I have kind of interactive lessons online on a interactive board. But back then, I just showed the PDF of a textbook, and we just went along with whatever we had. It wasn't planned, it wasn't structured, and that was the main challenge.
I want to ask you about social media. I know that you have a TikTok account.
Thank you.
I know that you have a TikTok account with how many followers?
Well, 25,000.
25,000. Yeah. So, how do you use social media to grow your business?
Well, my business, first of all, my business itself appeared because of the social media.
Yeah.
Since all my students, they came to me from my TikTok. So I just started filming videos about English language, but my first ever student came to me because of the very simple video. I just recorded a lip sync. Maybe you know, it's just a song, and you're kind of lip syncing into it and recording
text,
yourself. Yeah, so you are just, I don't know, recording a usual video when there is a song and you're kind of singing along. So on top of this video, I just put a text like, hi, I'm like the translation studies student. I'm looking for students, I would like to try to teach English. I would like to try to work as an English tutor. If you want this and this and this, come to my lessons. So it was pretty easy. But then I started to record some kind of expert videos where I told more about English acquisition, how to learn English properly, how to not lose motivation, and etc. Just sharing some information that for me is basic, that for me is obvious, but for a lot of people it is not. So I kind of started to show people my expertise, and then they just started writing to me on Instagram. They saw my videos, they followed me, and then they saw my proficiency.
Yeah.
They saw my proficiency and they wanted to study with me. So basically, social media directly brings me all my students and clients.
It means that to have own business, you should be teacher, tutor firstly, and then
I feel like in our society nowadays, you cannot be one specialist only. You have to be, well, you shouldn't be like an expert in marketing or like in social media, like as a manager. No, you just have to have some basic knowledge, like an amateur kinda. So you have to use all of the possible channels to sell your services.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
And you need to be flexible and be able to adapt to situations very quickly and find solutions. Because once I had a situation when my student just started crying in the middle of our lesson. It wasn't because of our lesson, of course, it was because of some extra reasons. But I had to come up with a decision, with the solution really quickly, because, well, it is not appropriate to have a student crying in the middle of your lesson. You have to do something with that. And I just decided to play with him some games connected with the fandoms that he was interested in. And by the end of the lesson, we kind of also discussed it a little bit, his feelings. So also kind of a psychologist a little bit you have to be when you're a teacher. And even though he started crying in our lesson, like we finished our lesson with him smiling eventually. So you have to be able to deal with different kinds of situations that will appear on your way, because people are unpredictable. And students, especially if they are teenagers, they are even more unpredictable. And also you have to have a pretty good personal borders. For example, some students, they may ask for a discount completely, without having a reason for it. And you have to be able to explain them why you cannot do that without having them being offended on you. Just to keep this distance and to, again, be able to solve the objectives.
Okay, and the last question, what advice would you give to someone who want to start teaching by their own?
I feel like the most important advice is just start. Do not think too much. Do not think about all of the risks that you're going to take. How will I teach? Who will I teach? What will I do? Even if some unpredictable situations are coming to you, you just do not need to be afraid of challenges. I had to prepare one student for an interview for university once, but I had never done it before. She asked me to. And I didn't tell her, oh, sorry, I cannot do that. I just faced this challenge and I decided, well, it's something new for me. I have to try it. I have to overcome my fear without thinking too much. Just do not overthink. That is the most important piece of advice that I can tell you. Because if you overthink, you will never start taking action towards your goal.
Okay, thank you, Katya. We wish you a lot of success. So, thank you.
Thanks a lot.